this is my very first YouTube video, and I don't really know what to do in this one, but anyways, one moment. Okay, I have other YouTube channels, well, the same one. I have one from when I was in 4th grade, and one when I was in 5th grade, but the 5th grade one I'm still using, and the 4th grade one is kind of embarrassing, so yeah, and it's pretty like weird. But so in this video I'm actually gonna tell you a story that has happened to me. But like, let me go on. Okay, so when I was about like in 3rd grade, I remember there's this, hopefully my mother doesn't get mad at me for posting this, but Mom, like, come on. But like, she was dating this one guy named, like, my mother would date like the worst guys ever. But there's this one guy, his name was Kevin. And I don't care if I say his name because people should know, and we don't have to hide their identity because like you should stay away from this man. But it was me, my mom, and Kevin. Really don't like saying his name, so I'm just gonna say K. One time, we used to have like this chart, cause we used to have like fish and stuff, like crabs and all that, and we had like this chart of who would feed who on what day. And my mom would feed it Mondays to Tuesdays, and Kevin would feed it Wednesdays, Thursdays, and I would refeed it Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And, well, when I was checking off my Friday for feeding them, I heard, like, this big-ass bang, like, on, like, I just heard it, and I just, like, was like, what the fuck? And I, like, was scared to go upstairs, and I, like, walked upstairs, and all I see is my mother. Her arm is like around her back, and Kevin's on top of her, like just staring at her. And I just like seriously ran to my mom and started pushing Kay off her, and like a couple times I'm like, get off, get off. And my mom was like, let's go, and her arm was like really sore, and she was like trying to carry shit, and I was like, don't carry that. And yeah, and then she was like carrying something, and I'm like, don't carry that, let me carry it. And we went to the car, and I remember my mom like grabbing the keys and going into the car, starting it, and all of a sudden you see like Kay like right next to my mom, like going, like grabbing, putting his hand through the window and taking the keys out and going to his house. And my mom, like, seriously, I was little, so like I was like really shy to do stuff, like, but I wish I would just be like, no bitch, give me the keys, you go in your dumb house. And yeah, and then my mom went, I told her not to go inside and stuff, and what's it called, she went inside and got the keys, and we left. And I don't really remember anything much else by then. And I remember she stayed with him even after that incident, which kind of pissed me off. And I didn't have anything to say to her. But like I just like wanted to say, you're stupid and stuff. And then I remember being with my mom in 4th grade. I lived with my sister Paige. She's about, how old is Paige? Right now she's 16, I think, but then she was like 13, and I was like 9. And no, she was actually like 14, I think, and I was 9. Yeah, she was like 1 year older, like like 1 year older than 13. So I remember we were driving to his house. Me and Paige were sitting inside, like, there's like this big old birthday cake they had. We were like he had no TV, so we didn't know what to do. It was really, really boring. So I'd usually go on the computer and stuff, and I don't really remember what pissed my mom off, but she told us to go in the car and wait for her, and well, we did, and she didn't come back after a while, and Paige went to go check, and then she came back with Mom, and she was kind of mad. Like, I could tell on Paige's face, she was hella pissed. She sat in the front, and Kevin came back and took the keys again from my mom. She's like, I'm going to go over there and get the keys, Mom. And then my mom's like, don't get the keys, I'll go get them. And she went to go get them. She didn't come back out for, like, ever. And then I think Paige went to go get my mom, and she did. And we drove off, and my mom was like, we're done. And then a few years later, she's still with him. But I remember when I don't know how old I was. She used to date this guy named Jay. I'm not going to say his name because he's kind of nice. And he had a son, and I loved his son because he was so cute. he's so tiny. But I want to scare my dogs. But she was with him. I always thought he was a good guy and stuff, and like he was so sweet to us. But my mom told me one time that he almost broke her finger. Oh, sorry, the TV scared me. But she almost broke her finger, and I didn't believe that until this one day where my mom was kind of mad because he didn't want to bring us to go eat with his family. So my mom was kind of mad, and then like a few hours later, I told my mom I'm hungry, and then my sister didn't like him. Paige doesn't like any of my mom's boyfriends, so I would get why. And a couple hours later, when I was there, he's like, you want to eat something? I have lasagna. And I was like, yeah. And my mom's like, now you feed her? Now you ask if she's hungry? And then he just called my mom a bitch. And I was just like, no. I was like, what happened? And I was like, why'd you call her a bitch? And he's like, a bitch I will. And then he stopped talking. And then he put the lasagna down on the table. And, yeah, I don't remember. I remember telling my sister about this. I remember telling Cassidy. Cassidy is like my oldest sister. And I remember telling Paige because Paige ran away, so we went to go get her because she didn't like Jay. Sorry. But, yeah, and then we just left. Bad things happened. I remember one time when I lived with my mom. I remember a little boy came, you know those blue things they have at the park where they have storage things, and they're like blue and red, and you just can easily climb on them. Well, me and my friend went on one of those, like on the top to go talk, and this little boy comes up with a knife in his hand and threatens to stab my friend. So, like, of course, friends are, like, forever. So I went in the way, and he kind of poked me, and I was being over dramatic when I got poked. But I told my mom, and my mom freaked out, and I couldn't be by myself anymore outside. I called my stepmom and told her, and she called my sister. And my sister took me to her house for a couple days. And then she called my aunt, and then my aunt took me to my grandparents' house, where I never ever see my mom again. So I've lived here for 4 years, so I haven't seen my mother in 4 years, which is kind of hard because my mom's been through some stuff. I'm just getting tired. But yeah, and like it's pretty upsetting that I can't see the person who's been there for me through all times, and it's very hard. Like you can't see your mother or your dad. Like I've seen my dad, but not like I haven't seen him like about a year. I'm not sure. Like my dad would stop off by then and there, promising he'll come, but hardly doesn't. I remember one time he came with my brother. I just started crying. Like my brother, I wanted to cry, but I didn't because my brother is my everything, and so is my sisters. Like my little sisters and brothers are my world, because like I'm their big sister, so they're my everything, and I don't know what I'd do without them. And then I have my big sisters. I haven't seen Paige since my last birthday, which was June 27th. So this year, but in my birthday. And I haven't seen Cassidy in 2 years. So I haven't seen my family that much. Not really. It sucks. It really does. Yeah. It sucks. It really does. Sorry, I stopped the video. I was like crying a little bit. I don't like when people see me cry, so. But it's hard. Especially the things my family goes through. And some people may have it worse than I do. But it's super hard, so I'd get why. Yeah. It's not the easiest thing to go through, but if you don't see a family member or if someone died in your family, just know that they love you and they do anything for you because they're your relative, they're your kid, they're your mom. It doesn't matter because sister siblings, it really doesn't matter because they love you with all their heart. So just so you know, if you're going through something tough, just forget about the bad things. Just think of the good things. That's how I'm doing. Doing perfectly fine. I got my friends and everything. They help me out sometimes, and they're really good friends. And if you have friends, just tell them how much you care, because your friends are the best thing. And if you don't have friends, it doesn't matter because you have someone that cares in your life, and you might not know it, but they do. So, yeah. Okay. I hope you guys like this video, and I'm being totally honest with you. I'm not lying about anything, I swear. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe.